Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
Yes, and welcome to the Youth Scene Show, your favorite show on Tag Radio with yours truly, Kazeem Balogun. Wow, it's a hot sunny afternoon, really hot out there. Jeez, what are your plans? Like, what's going on? What are your plans? What you got going on? Are you having an ice cream this sunny afternoon? You know, are you planning to go to Saffron Beach this afternoon? What's your plan? What are you doing? Why don't you tell us all about it on our social media? We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Tag Radio 1. Okay, at Tag Radio 1. We are literally on all social media platforms. So why don't you tell us all about your plans this sunny afternoon? Or you can get involved in the radio. You can literally get involved by calling us on 07920-026-406 or 07920-026-407. The studio lines are officially opened, and we'd like to hear from our viewers and our listeners as well. What are your plans this sunny Saturday afternoon? And also, are you getting ready for the parliamentary elections happening on the 4th of July? Goodness me. Only a week away. Make sure you use your voice. Use your voice. Make sure you amplify your voice and make sure you vote. Okay, by now, you all should have received the ballot papers if you're voting by post, or if you are going to go to the local center to go and actually vote. By now, you will have received some sort of communication from your council encouraging you, empowering you to get out there and vote. So make sure you matter. I matter. You matter. Your voice counts. So make sure you use your voice and get out there on the 4th of July and vote. Okay? Right. Fantastic. So, the last time we had our show, we talked extensively about sextortion. Okay, we talked extensively about that, and you know, in that particular show, I gave you a breakdown of what sextortion is. You know, I talked about the preventative measures of what we could do to safeguard our young people from being exploited on social media. Okay, we also dealt with I also provided some contacts, you know, for those who have experienced it and those who are perpetrators who are looking for help. I also shared some key contacts that you can actually contact by virtue of you getting help. Okay, and we also talked about, you know, safeguarding against perpetrators, you know, the necessary actions you can take to safeguard you and your loved ones from these perpetrators. However, what we then needed to deal with was there were questions that came in but as a result of that particular show. So today I'm going to be addressing those questions in the limited time that I have left. However, if you do have any questions or any comments you'd like to share about the issue of sextortion, please feel free to share your comments, share your views by following us on social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Is at Tag Radio 1. Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I want to give a special shout out to those viewers. Hi, hello, hiya. I want to give a special shout out to those viewers who have sent in, and listeners as well, who have sent in their questions. So I'm going to be addressing your questions on air today. Okay, so the questions you've asked me, I'm going to be addressing them. However, I must issue a disclaimer before I prepare to answer these questions. I am no shape or form a therapist. Okay, I'm only a presenter, and my job is to present information. Okay, so by virtue of disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist. If you need further advice or further information, I would strongly encourage you to consult a medical assistant, a health professional, be your GP, be your doctor, be a therapist, for further guidance on this matter of sextortion. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to now proceed into addressing the questions that you've asked me to address. Okay, so the first question I've got here is, how can I tell someone is trying to trick me into a sextortion scheme online? That is a powerful question, and I want to give a wonderful shout out to the listener or viewer who have asked this particular question. So the simple answer is, be very cautious of someone you've met online. Be very, very cautious, on this matter of sextortion. You may want to, for those who are joining in, who are new, who are just joining in, you may want to visit our social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, because we dealt with this particular topic a couple Saturdays ago. So you want to visit our social media platform, or you can actually download, our radio app, Tag Radio. If you are using Android, just go to your Play Store and just type in Tag Radio on your Play Store, and you can actually download. If you're using the Apple device, you can just go to your App Store and type in Tag Radio and literally download our radio platform. We are 24 hours, okay, and you can listen to our radio platform whenever and wherever you actually are. You can go to our social media platforms to catch up on this particular show on sextortion. It was done a couple Saturdays ago, so you want to go to our Facebook. For those of us, for the benefits of those who are just joining in and listening or viewing, you can go to our Facebook, our YouTube platforms, and you can catch up on this particular show for you to get some sort of background context into these particular questions I'm about to address. Fantastic. So coming back to this question, how can I tell someone if someone is trying to trick me into a sextortion scheme online? Now that's a wonderful question. So the simple answer to that would be to be very cautious. If you've met somebody online quite recently, don't be overly eager to move conversations to private messaging platforms. Don't do that, or quickly become intimate with this particular person. Red flags include requests for explicit photos or videos, inconsistency in their stories, reluctance to share personal details about themselves, and pressure to remain secrecy about your interactions. That's a catfish, straight up. That's literally a catfish. So be very careful, be very wary of being intimate with somebody you just met online. You want to do your due diligence on them first before you get into any entanglements. Okay. The other question I've got here is, what should I do if I've already shared explicit content and someone is threatening me with it? Wow, that's a really deep question, and thank you for asking this question. The simple answer to this particular question is, do not comply with the perpetrator's demands. Because if you do comply, they will use that as an opportunity to make more demands. So the first thing is, don't succumb to threat, don't succumb to their particular demands. Document all communications. Take a screenshot of all the conversations, document it, save it somewhere, including screenshot of threats. Report the incident to the local authorities or cybercrime unit. Seek support from friends, family, or professional counselors, as I said earlier. Then you can contact organizations like Action Fraud in the UK for further guidance. But it's very important for you not to succumb to their threats. No matter how hard they make them, don't succumb to threats. I hope that actually helps. The other question I've got here is, how effective are the privacy settings on social media platforms in preventing sextortion? Now that is one heck of a wonderful question. Privacy settings are actually crucial for a line of first defense. The limit who can view your information and interact with you online. However, they are not foolproof. It's essentially for you to regularly, you want to review your privacy settings. Okay, use strong and unique passwords. Try not to use your date of birth. Try not to use passwords like 123456 or 4444, whatever the case may be. Try to use passwords that are strong and unique, that is going to be difficult for somebody to guess your password. Okay, and be very cautious about accepting friend requests or messages from unknown individuals. Okay, be very cautious about accepting. Check their profile out. Are they genuine? Who is this person? Don't just accept every Tom, Dick, and Harry that adds you on Facebook, Instagram, or don't just or on Twitter. Don't just accept it. Make sure you check them out before you actually engage yourself with them. Can sextortion happen to anyone, or are there specific groups who are more at risk? The simple answer is it can happen to anyone. It can literally happen to anyone. I mean, currently it's happening to vulnerable people, but it can literally happen to anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. However, certain groups such as teenagers, young adults, and individuals are frequently using dating apps or social media. They may become more susceptible because they are vulnerable. Okay, so you have to be careful. Perpetrators often target individuals they perceive as more susceptible to manipulation, or those who may be less likely to report the crime. So be very, very careful, be very hands-on, be very watchful, be very vigilant. That's what I'm gonna add to that in my answer to that particular question. And the final question is, if I report sextortion to the authorities, what can I expect in terms of action, in terms of support and action taken? Great question, right? So when you report sextortion to authorities, the authorities will typically investigate the case. They will gather evidence and work to identify and apprehend the perpetrator. In most cases, they may prosecute. In most cases, they may charge them to court. You can expect to receive guidance or protecting your digital presence and emotional support as well. Resources, you can receive that emotional support as well from them. Organizations like Victim Support in the UK provide practical help and emotional support, while law enforcement agencies will focus on the criminal aspects of your case, if there are any. Okay, so again, be very, very vigilant. Make sure you report. You're not on your own. You're absolutely not on your own. Make sure you're reporting to the relevant authorities. Okay, because this is not a good look. This is not cool for you to be experiencing on your own. Make sure you voice out, you talk, and you get the help that you actually need. Right, so this is where we're going to draw the conclusion. My time is almost far spent. Sextortion is a serious crime. It is a very, very serious crime with profound emotional and psychological impacts. By understanding how it works, taking preventive measures and knowing how to respond and seek help, we can absolutely protect ourselves and support those affected. Remember, you're not alone and help is absolutely available. I'll just take that one more time. You are not alone and help is absolutely available for you. Okay, so this is where we're going to draw the curtains. Hopefully I've answered all the questions. As I said earlier, if you are a victim of sextortion, or you peradventure you are a perpetrator, who is seeking help to come out of it. There is help out there for you. Okay, and as I said earlier, by virtue of disclaimer, I am not a therapist, I am not a doctor. All right, you may want to consult a health professional to help you in overcoming some of the negative impact that you might have experienced as a victim. Okay, so make sure you do just that for yourself. It's very important that you do that. Okay, and this is where we draw the curtains for today's Youth Sin Show, your favorite show on Tag Radio. Until next time, where we bring you another brand new episode of the Youth Sin Show. Okay, I cannot end the show without sending and acknowledging, my own team. First and foremost, a big shout out to Councillor Buki Okunade, the director of Tag Radio. A big shout out to the management team, Pastor Bengalawao, Mr. Deji Adeaga. A wonderful shout out to my own executive producer, Mr. Deji Daudu. A wonderful shout out to my co-presenters and colleagues, Pastor Hehi and of course Mike. A wonderful shout out to our IT guy, the guy that makes it look good behind the screens. A massive shout out to Ayo, and most importantly, a massive shout out to you, our listeners and viewers, who take the time to tune in every week to listen in or watch live the Youth Sin Show, your favorite show on Tag Radio. Until next time, we come again with a brand new episode of the Youth Sin Show. Make sure you have yourself a wonderful weekend, and make sure to follow us on social media platforms. On Facebook on Twitter, and on YouTube. We are also on Spotify. Okay, it's at Tag Radio 1. Until next time, have yourself a wonderful sunny weekend, and get out there, put your shades on, and enjoy the sun. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you around.